This video will show you how to create and use your own custom list of QIDs from the Qualys KnowledgeBase, or what we call a search list. Before diving into the different ways you can use a search list, I'm going to demonstrate a couple of different ways to create one. You'll find the Search List tab in 3 different places within the Vulnerability Management application. There's a Search List tab in the Scan section, one in the Report section, and another in the Knowledge Base section. All 3 tabs provide the same functionality. Notice the options for creating or adding a search list to your account. You can create a static list, a dynamic list, or import a search list from the Qualys Search List library. For my first example, I'll select the dynamic list option. The list I want to create will only contain high-risk vulnerabilities, severity levels 3 through 5, and specifically those that do not have an available patch. This can be a very useful list of vulnerabilities to monitor because they will not be addressed or mitigated through your patching operations. For a dynamic search list, targeted QIDs must be specified using a list criteria, consisting of any combination of KnowledgeBase search options. The criteria you specify here will determine which QIDs are presently added to the list, and moving forward it will determine whether or not new QIDs get added. For this example, I'll select vulnerabilities that have no patch solution, and then scroll down to specify severity level 3, 4, and 5 vulnerabilities that can be confirmed. You can use any search options found here in the Search tool to build your own custom search lists. The Test button can be used to verify all of the QIDs that will be added to this list. For now, I'll just click Save. I now have a list of confirmed severity level 3, 4, and 5 vulnerabilities that do not have an available patch. New QIDs added to the Qualys KnowledgeBase that match the list criteria will automatically get added to this dynamic list. If the list of QIDs you have in mind does not have some type of common criteria, there's the static list option. A static search list, as its name implies, contains a fixed number of QIDs and can only be created and updated manually. For this example, I'll create a list of QIDs that I like to use for analyzing scan performance and behavior. Since I already know the QID numbers I want, I'll paste them into the QIDs field and click OK. However, the Select button will give you the option of selecting the QIDs you need directly from the Qualys KnowledgeBase. Once all QIDs have been added, click the Save button to save your static search list. The QIDs in this static list are now fixed and can only be updated manually by a Qualys user. Now that you've seen a couple of ways to create a search list, let's discuss the different ways to use the search list you've created or imported. A search list is one of the most powerful filtering tools in the Qualys Vulnerability Management application for tasks such as scanning, reporting, and remediation. For example, rather than creating a single vulnerability report that contains all vulnerabilities, severity levels 1 through 5, you can add the dynamic search list I created earlier to a report template to focus the report on high severity vulnerabilities that have no patch. Using search lists in this fashion will help you to create vulnerability reports that focus on specific groups of vulnerabilities that are high priority targets within your organization. When performing vulnerability scans, Qualys normally recommends using our complete list of QIDs found in the Qualys KnowledgeBase. However, you may find the need to target a specific list of vulnerability QIDs when scanning, especially on those occasions where you don't have time to wait for a complete scan to finish. To accomplish this task, simply add your targeted list of QIDs, your search list, to a scanning option profile, and use that option profile to perform a targeted scan. Remember, Qualys normally recommends scanning for everything, and then using report templates containing targeted search lists to filter your scan results. And finally, If you need a mechanism for assigning detected vulnerabilities to the individuals or operational teams that are tasked with fixing or mitigating those vulnerabilities, a remediation policy can be used to assign a targeted list of QIDs, a search list, to any Qualys user. A special Qualys user role, the remediation user, is provided just for this purpose. You can also add a search list that contains QIDs you don't immediately intend to address to a remediation policy that automatically ignores the targeted QIDs. The lab exercises in this course provide examples of all three search list uses. You can use the Quick Actions menu to edit an existing search list or view its information. Here you will find the search list criteria, the list of QIDs, and any option profiles, report templates, or remediation policies that use this list. Distribution groups can be created to receive email notifications about updates or additions to the QIDs in any list. Thank you for watching this Qualys training video.